Welcome back to Game Day U Hoops. I am Tyler DeLuca, and I am joined by Hallie Moss, Pierce Levelholtz, and Stone Weber. Let's dive right in to some OU men's basketball. The Sooners took the trip to the Little Apple for a chance to sweep the Kansas State Wildcats. Oklahoma would not be getting the brooms out in Manhattan, unfortunately. The future is, frankly, not currently very bright when it comes to postseason possibilities, but it did look bright for two freshmen in this game. Milos Uzan led the Sooners in scoring with 20 points, and Otega Owe followed suit with 18 points of his own. It would not be enough, however, as the Sooners would lose 85-69. Here's the moment things changed for the worse from the eyes of head coach Porter Moser.
At 25 all. And I thought the 5 points they hit before that were tough 5 points. I think Johnson hit a really tough ISO move, jump shot, and Noel hit a 3. So we up into that point, they had like 20 points, they scored 5. We're like, those last 5 were tough shots, we got to guard. And the wheels fell off, transition D. We took 3 quick shots, missed them, and they converted all of them into baskets.
Guys, something that stuck out to me in this game was the rebounding margin. When you're losing the rebounding game by 11 boards, that's really, really tough to come back from. And when you allow K-State that many opportunities, it's hard to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's a tough battle to come back from. But someone who might help their problem offensively, Milos Uzan. He's proving how valuable he's going to be to the team next year. Each game, he's getting better and better. Last night, he hit 6 new season highs, most impressive of those being scoring 20 against Kansas State. And I know that wasn't enough to get the Sooners the win, but he's showing he can hang.
Oh, 100%. Milos has a huge upside in his time here in Norman. But I'm going to piggyback off of what Tyler said. Not only did the Sooners get out-rebounded by that much, but the Sooners' 2 big men, Tanner Rose and Sam Godwin, combined for just 7 rebounds. 7. The Oklahoma big men have to play big if the Sooners want any more wins this year.
Pierce, I'm going to have to agree with you. That's just not very big. But, Hallie, I want to touch on the other freshman on the Sooner team, Otega Owe. The guard from Somerset, New Jersey, didn't have as much as Milos Uzan, but he did end up still having 18 points, and he's been one of the few bright spots on this year's, frankly, very disappointing OU men's basketball team.
Yeah, it's not looking great right now, guys. It's just not. But there is one more game to kind of get some good momentum going into that Big 12 tournament, because next up is the regular season finale and senior night for the Sooners as they welcome in the TCU Horned Frogs to the LNC. The Sooners will be looking to avenge a 27-point loss from earlier in the season. In that game, CJ Nolan was the only Sooner to reach double-figure scoring. They're going to need more scoring than that to pull off a win against another ranked Big 12 team. This will be their 7th ranked matchup in their last 8 games. Hallie, when looking at this game, what is a key to a Sooners victory?
I mean, Tyler, guys, I feel like a broken record here because we've been saying this all season, but the turnovers have to stop. The Sooners are averaging 12.8 turnovers per game, which isn't the worst in the conference, but definitely not the best and definitely not winning them games. They committed 13 turnovers on Wednesday night, which Kansas State converted into 20 points. The difference between the final score, 16 points.
I mean, yeah, you hit it right on the nose with a broken record. But Oklahoma's biggest wins this year have been supported by phenomenal defense, which is the key for the Sooners' success moving forward. OU held projected lottery pick Brandon Miller to only 11 points, Keontae Johnson only 14, and Jaron Holmes to 8 points. Defense turns into offense, and consistent defense will give them a chance against anyone in the country.
Pierce, you're right. We saw that against Alabama. And he just said it. Defense does turn into offense. And while the Sooners shot well in Manhattan, they need to shoot well if they want to beat TCU. They shot 40% from 3 and 43% from the field. However, outside of this game, that has not been the case. As you can see in this clip, this is exactly what the Sooners need to do if they want to pull off a win on Saturday. They need to not be hesitant and shoot the ball, have the green light, and be confident in their ability. They play in the Big 12, they need to play like it.
Yeah, another ranked opponent on deck. I think it's going to be another loss. I got TCU in this one.
I don't know, last regular game of the season, home team advantage, I'm going with the Sooners.
I agree with you, Tyler. I like the Frogs. Mike Miles, just a little bit too fast.
Hallie, I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. Boomer Sooner. Porter Moser's squad stays alive, and their very slim March Madness hopes are still there.
No.
All right, well, we will see if they can pull off a senior night win just like the OU women's basketball team did on Wednesday night. We will look at that game next on Game Day U Hoops.
Midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year. And lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region, too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Game Day U Hoops. It was a special night at the LNC on Wednesday night as the most decorated senior class in OU women's basketball history was celebrated. But before that celebration could begin, there was a game to be played. And man, was it a good one. The Sooners welcomed in Kansas State, who are being led in scoring on the year by a very familiar face in former Sooner Gabby Gregory. The Sooners led by as much as 22 points in the second quarter, but a third quarter run by the Wildcats would make it a game. Ultimately, the Sooners would find themselves down, but a Skylar Van layup to send the game to overtime where the Sooners would win 90-86. Here's Ana Yanusa's thoughts on the game time play.
Yeah, I think we do a lot of situational things like that in practice. Coach Jenny has drawn some things up like that before, and so I don't know, I had a lot of belief. T-Rob wouldn't let anybody not believe, so I think we all just believed in what we were doing, and we had a lot of options, and we knew what we were supposed to do when we were out there, and I think we executed really well.
Well, man, it goes without saying that those 2 points by Skylar Van were huge, but that was just 2 of 23, which was her career high in scoring. Plus, she had the 2 free throws at the end of the game in overtime to ice it. Huge game from Van.
Yeah, she had a game, but it wasn't enough. And the Sooner men might have struggled against K-State, but Jenny B and her squad were not letting those Wildcats out of the LNC with a W. Winning the game in overtime, losing a 22-point lead. It was an emotional night with T-Rob even shedding a couple tears with her fellow senior Maddie Williams for their last regular season home game.
I mean, yeah, you hit it on the nose. OU men's team has been struggling a lot. They struggle with rebounding a lot as well, but the women's team dominated the Wildcats off the glass. Oklahoma out-rebounded Kansas State 51-33, 17 offensive rebounds. Those extra possessions add up.
You guys talked about dominated. They came down the stretch. I'm going to be honest, though. They got lucky last night. Kansas State had free throws at the end of the game to ice it, and they couldn't do it. OU capitalized that, but the fact of the matter is Jenny Baranchik's squad needs to be playing better against the 9th best team in the Big 12.
Yeah, a team like the OU women's basketball team that snowballs so heavily, if you get up to that 20-point lead area, you can't let that go by. But they were able to get a win, and with that win and a Texas loss to the Baylor Bears, the Sooners now move back into a tie for first place in the Big 12. And now, this might sound familiar, a rivalry game with a chance to take control of their Big 12 title hopes. OU will be heading to Stillwater, and if they win, they secure the honor of at least the co-Big 12 regular season champ. Here's how Jenny Baranchik is feeling after her team and about her team after the K-State win.
Lessons that we've got to continue to learn. It's March 1st. You know, there's some things you can really focus on getting better at, but it's your cohesion, your belief, like your confidence. That's what you need to continue to go forward. And so that's something that I think this game today, although we're not proud of some of that, I think there's moments where we're going to have a lot of pride.
Last time the Sooners were in a big matchup against an orange rival, it did not go great, let's just be honest. And this time, they'll be looking to prevent that from happening. It was a bedlam victory in a high-scoring shootout for the Sooners earlier in the year. Hallie, what are you focused on in this game as the Sooners look to bring out their bedlam brooms?
Well, Tyler, to win this game, the Sooners are going to have to stop Oklahoma State's offense. Now, OU may be the leading Big 12 offensively in points, but OSU is right there behind them. And not only do they lead the conference in field goal percentage, but also three-point percentage. And they don't even have the three-point queen on their team. I mean, we're talking about the top two offenses in the Big 12 right now. It's going to be a fast pace and a high-scoring game.
Yeah, and in fast-paced games, it can be very easy to turn the ball over. In all 5 of the Sooners' losses this year, they have lost the turnover battle. As you can see here, OU finished with 22 turnovers in a must-win game against Texas at home. Oklahoma has the ability to outscore everyone in the country, but when you give the ball away that frequently, it's going to be hard to make a postseason push. The Sooners have to clean it up if they want to play their brand of basketball.
Yeah, Pierce, you're exactly right. Turnovers are something that affect all of your game, every aspect of your game. But let's not get it mixed up here. Taylor Robertson is the greatest shooter in the history of college basketball, but she has been slacking recently. Now, she wasn't slacking last night, but in the loss to Texas, she had just 6 points and was 2 of 8 from the floor. Last night, though, she had 15 points, all of them coming from downtown. If OU wants to make the Final Four in Dallas, Taylor Robertson needs to evolve her game and be able to make plays outside of shooting the 3-ball.
All right, well, I'm so excited for this game. It's going to be like a tennis match more than a basketball game. Just watching them back and forth and back and forth. But I think that OU is going to be able to outlast Oklahoma State and secure their Big 12 regular season championship, their first one since 2009.
I'm with you, and hopefully speaking this into existence, Texas will lose to Kansas State, and Oklahoma will beat OSU, giving Jenny and the ladies the Big 12 championship they deserve.
Yeah, I like the Sooners here as well. The difference between good and great teams with long seasons like this, when you get hot. I like the Sooners to get a lot of momentum here and make a long postseason push.
OU wins at Gallagher-Iba, but Texas wins as well, and that gives the Sooners all the more motivation to get that Big 12 tournament championship in Kansas City.
All right, well, the Sooners will be looking to clinch that Big 12 title, but another team in the state looking to clinch is the Thunder and their playoff spot. We will check in with OKC next on Game Day U Hoops.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly Weather, your campus weather authority.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Welcome back to Game Day U Hoops. We have hit on both of the OU basketball teams, so let's dive into the Oklahoma City Thunder. And frankly, this week it's been simple math. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been out injured for 4 games straight. The Thunder have lost all 4 of those games. OKC now sits at 13th in the West and 2.5 games back from the play-in. All right, well, we heard from some other of the players throughout this week, and it's been different without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander there. Hallie, what are your thoughts on this week so far?
I mean, the Lakers were without LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell, and still managed to beat OKC at home 123-117. On a positive note, Jalen Williams keeps getting better, and Josh Giddey looks to have bounced back, with both of them scoring more than 20 points. But this is the 5th consecutive loss for the Thunder. But for the Lakers, they're now just a half a game out of a play-in spot.
Yeah, and the Thunder had back-to-back games against the Kings. OKC dropped their first game but looked to draw even. Sacramento's offense was just far too much for the Thunder, though. Domantas Sabonis put up a double-double with 22 points and 13 rebounds, and Harrison Barnes turned back the clock and dropped 29 points to lead the way as the Thunder lose 123-117.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to look a little bit more towards the future. The Thunder are on the struggle bucks. You guys have mentioned they've lost 5 in a row, but this next game versus the Jazz is an opportunity to get back in the win column. The Jazz are only 2.5 games ahead of OKC for the 9th seed in the play-in tournament, and with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out, the Thunder have played relatively well. They've lost all 5 of those games by less than 10 points, and 3 of them were by less than 6 points. If a couple plays go differently in these games, they could be in the win column.
Yeah, one positive to take from these games is that, well, Josh Giddey, he kind of came out of the All-Star break. He came out a little bit slow, but that game against the Lakers, nearly a triple-double, a huge game for him, and it's going to be imperative for him to keep that up if SGA is going to be out for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I mean, Giddey did have a great game. We talked about it, though. Who's the one missing variable? Who have they not had for the past 5 games? SGA. He's the glue for the team, and they need him back.
And 100% missing SGA is huge, but there is still some silver lining on the year. The Thunder have Jalen Williams, who's blossomed in his first year in the league. He's averaging 22 points over his last 4 games, including a career-high 27 in their last.
Yeah, SGA and Jalen Williams have been huge on the Thunder team this year, but without SGA right now, the Thunder need to step it up. And if they don't get off this losing streak, they're at risk to miss the playoffs.
All right. Well, we'll see if they're able to kind of get it back on track. But when we come back, we will have your high school hoops updates, plus an exclusive sit-down interview with former OU men's player and current women's assistant coach, Michael Neal. Stick around.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Things like grass clippings and leaves can contribute harmful levels of nutrients into our surface and drinking water. We must improve water quality at Lake Thunderbird, our main drinking water source, which begins with taking care of our stormwater. Bag your clippings when mowing, or leave them to break down and nourish your lawn. We drink our stormwater, so don't blow it by leaving your grass clippings in the street. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
Welcome back to Game Day U Hoops. It is time to hit on some high school hoops with Game Day U's resident high school expert, Brig Bates. Brig, take it away.
Thanks, Tyler. Welcome back to Ballin' with Brig, the matchup everybody has been waiting for. Heading into playoffs, Crosstown Clash V3 didn't disappoint as Norman High Tigers hosted the Norman North Timberwolves to decide who runs the town. We tip off at Norman High, and the home court advantage was certainly there with a packed Tiger student section. Norman High Tigers start off hot with a 7-2 run, backed by a deep 3 from 6'7" Matthew Willenborg. But the Norman North Timberwolves gain momentum with ball movement finding the backdoor cut as Ben Moser lays it in. But the Tigers' twin towers, both 6'7", Trajan and Marquise Cone Pierce, show off the brother bond back and forth for the bucket. Tigers lead 42-36 heading into the fourth, but the T-Wolves strike back with a 6-0 run from an and-one dunk in a game-tying huge three from Nate Lancaster. But it wasn't enough as the Tigers roll past the Timberwolves 56-47. And guess what? We continue our high school hoops coverage as Emily LeBeth breaks down another playoff matchup.
Yes, Brig. Postseason high school basketball is in full swing in Oklahoma. Heading over to the east side of the bracket, we have our game of the week, which is a crosstown rivalry between the Putnam City West Patriots and the Putnam City North Panthers. PC West started out hot and played aggressive. Shante Tramble hits a jump shot to put 2 on the board. And Caden Ray Field follows up with a dunk to put the Patriots up 40-20 at half. But PC North was not going down without a fight. The Panthers drained 6 threes in the second half to shorten PC West's lead to 3 with only a few seconds left. In their final chance to tie the score, Kawan Payne puts up a 3, but he does not capitalize, and the Patriots secure a 60-57 playoff road win and a regional championship. Now that's it for high school hoops this week. And Tyler, your Norman Tigers got the win. Do you think they'll go all the way?
Oh, I absolutely think they do. They already took care of Norman North. It's only a matter of time, thanks to both Brig and Emily. Earlier this week, I got the chance to sit down with former OU men's basketball player and current women's basketball assistant coach Michael Neal for an exclusive one-on-one interview. Tyler DeLuca here, and I am joined by Michael Neal, former OU men's basketball player and current women's basketball assistant coach. Coach, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely.
It's pretty easy from the outside looking in to see how special this senior class is. It's not hard to find that out. But for you, someone that gets to spend every day with this senior class, what makes them special from your eyes?
It has nothing to do with basketball. It's just the type of people they are, and each of those individuals are different in their own right. Taylor, obviously, the things that she's been able to accomplish while she's been here and what she's had to overcome in her personal life with losing her father, I think it's tremendous because she carries that. She's consistent every day. Maddie's energy and how vibrant she is will definitely be missed, but I mean, she's gone from different spectrums of what's required of her and what's expected of her in practice, and what she brings is invaluable in regards to scoring and being as versatile as she is. And Anna, I mean, I don't think there was a year that she hasn't been injured, and she's still going. Missing those three whenever they leave is going to be a hard thing to replace, but at the same time, right now in this moment, I think it's a cool thing.
So flipping the script a little bit, I mentioned earlier that former men's basketball player here. You're so kind of on the other side of things, the men's basketball program right now. What do you kind of think of? Obviously, kind of building towards the future with this season. What are you kind of thinking of what Porter is doing with this program so far?
He's holding them accountable, and they're competing, and they're in just about every game. So, like some of those things, I mean, it could have gone either way. The season could look way different for them if, they capitalize on a few more opportunities in some of those games. But I'd be tremendously excited because, one, they're going to defend and they're going to always figure out ways to score. So if you're not behind them now, don't jump on the bandwagon later whenever they start doing well. That's what I say. But I think he's doing a tremendous job. I think regardless of the situation, whenever it comes to wins, losses, I mean, they're getting better, and it's going to be exciting to watch them moving forward.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank
you for sitting down with me. Thanks again to Michael Neal for taking the time for that interview. But when we come back, we will have some subs coming in for some Pick'em. You won't want to miss it.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus. Campus in the clear right now. OU Nightly weather. Or Campus Weather Authority.
Welcome back to Game Day U Hoops. Subbing in here on the set is Kaylee Jo Hummel, Jack Coran, and Aiden Tyler. Let's dive right into some game picks. We will start with some men's action in the Big 12. Top 10 matchup between the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks, who are visiting the number 9 Texas Longhorns. Kaylee Jo, can Texas ground the Jayhawks?
Tyler, it really pains me to say this, but I'm saying hook 'em horns.
Throw it up.
No, too far.
Okay.
The Longhorns are almost unbeatable at home. They're 16-1 to be exact. They're averaging 80 points a game, but 85 at home. Texas is going to take advantage of this and snap the Jayhawks' hot streak.
Kaylee, I'm going to have to agree with you. Home court matters so much in the Big 12, so I am also going with Texas. KU has been bouncing back after a losing streak, but I still like Texas here. KU's bench lacks depth, and look for Marcus Carr to light up the KU defense.
Unfortunately, I've got to disagree with the both of you. Kansas took the previous matchup 88-80 in Lawrence, and the Horns just lost a battle against TCU on the road. While Kansas scraped by Tech at home on their senior night, I fully expect Grady Dick and the Jayhawks to sweep the Longhorns and head into the conference tournament red hot as they prove why they're either the best team in the Big 12, but also the country.
Country's a big thing, but I know where you guys draw the line now. You'll pick Texas, but you won't throw the hook 'em horns. Got it. But on to another top 10 men's matchup. Let's travel out west for the number 8 Arizona Wildcats traveling to the City of Angels to play number 4 UCLA. Kaylee Jo, are the lights going to be too bright for Arizona?
No, Tyler. Arizona is taking this rivalry because of one name, Tubelis. If he wants Pac-12 Player of the Year, he needs to show out and lead his team to victory. He averages almost 20 points a game and 9 rebounds. And I think he'll prove it with a Wildcat win.
Kaylee, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm going with the Bruins in this game. UCLA has not lost a single game at home this year, and that's not going to change. Give me UCLA.
I just 100% have to agree with that. Arizona just lost to their rivals 89-88. UCLA on an 8-game tear and has not lost at home all season, like you said. They're the 4th-ranked team, and they are going to show why. I expect Jaime Jaquez Jr. to have a big night scoring and cleaning the glass in a close game, but a UCLA win.
Okay, we'll see if Arizona's built for the big stage, but that is going to do it for us here on Game Day U Hoops. For Kaylee Hummel, Jack Coran, and Aiden Tyler, I am Tyler DeLuca, and we will see you next time on Game Day U Hoops.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality.